and welcome back to Laura Talks. Tonight I will be making the character Legolas from Lord of the Rings using the Burning Wheel Lifepaths. I have permission from both Roll20 and the creator of Burning Wheel to use their products in my videos. I do not claim ownership of Roll20 or Burning Wheel or Legolas. I don't own any of the ideas. Yeah. So, Legolas obviously is an elf, so we'll be using the elven life paths. And I tried to do some research on like his early life, and what I found out is that it's basically not talked about much in the books. So we will be kind of doing a guesstimate of what he probably did. Also, we'll probably be a little bit lenient about the rules for leading from different settings. I also wasn't able to find a specific age for him, so my goal is to get the Burning Wheel character to be between 500 and 700 years. So that will be a lot of life paths. And we will definitely be using the rules for using a life path multiple times, because specifically the Archer life path, I feel like he would have taken that many times. So for elves, there are 3 main settings and 1 subsetting. There's the Wilderland setting, which he will have a couple life paths from there. There's the Citadel setting, and then there's the Ethark setting. He is the son of the leader of Mirkwood, I believe. So I think that would put him in the Ethark setting. Etharks are kind of like the nobility of elves. Yeah. If at any time, like, there's information that I get wrong about either Legolas or Burning Wheel, go ahead, throw it in a comment. You know, I take constructive criticism. I'm willing to admit when I did something wrong or made a mistake. But we're just here to have fun. So, we're gonna start with the Born Ethark life path. All characters need a Born life path at first. So, Born Ethark, that gives 25 years and 10 resources, no stat bonus, 5 general points, 2 normal points, and then 2 trait points. So 10 resources, 5 general, and then 2 of those. Now, Born life paths, obviously you can only take once. We'll get to the elven common traits later, but the one required trait is etharkal. Okay, and if a trait is on your life path, it costs 1, even if it typically has a higher cost. I think I'm going to go through and do all of the life paths first, and then I will do skills and traits. Yeah, that's typically what I do. Okay, so after Born Ethark, I have a feeling he would have been a student for some amount of time. I feel like 25 years is a decent amount of time. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and give him the student life path, 25 years, 10 resources. And there are multiple student life paths, so I'm just going to go ahead and denote that it's from the Ethark subsetting. No lead time because it's in the same setting, 10 resources. And this gives +1 mental, And then 9 skill points, which is a lot, and 1 trait point. The average life path typically gives 4 or 5 skill points. The more powerful ones will give 7, 8, 9, even 10. I think the maximum I've seen is 11 skill points. So, after a student, I feel like it would be more accurate to go to the wilder lands than the Citadel. So I did look through the life paths earlier just to get kind of an idea. There are some in the Citadel that he may have taken, like Soldier Protector. He's gonna get a Song Singer life path at some point. Just because I feel like that fits in with him. And I think he is noted in the books as having a really good voice. I am going to give him the Wanderer life path, but there's a Wanderer life path in the Wilderlands. Yeah, there's a Wanderer life path in the Wilderlands setting, and I think the Wilderlands setting fits his character generally better. So I'm going to go ahead and give him 2 of the Wanderer life paths, because I feel like over the course of his life, he spent more than 75 years wandering. So let's go ahead and find those rules. Those are at the beginning of the book in here we go. Repeating life paths, the law of diminishing returns. You can repeat a life path as many times as you like, which is good for us because in order to get to 500 or 700 years, it's going to take a lot of life paths. The second time a path is taken, time, resources, stat, and skill points are earned as normal. The second skill and trait on each life path are required. If there is no second trait, subtract 1 trait point from the path. The third time a character walks a life path, he only receives half of the skill and resource points, but no trait or stat points. If a life path is taken a 4th time, the character only earns half of the resource points and nothing else aside from years. So, I'm going to assume that the rules for the 4th time also apply to like 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know if there will be life paths that we take that many times, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this rule so that I can have it readily available, because sometimes my memory is a little bad. Let's see, here we are. Okay. So, we were at the Wanderer life path in the Wilderlands. Okay, so we're gonna do it twice. It only has 1 trait point, so that means the second time around it gives 0 trait points. And then basically the Heir of Gates is also a required skill. So let's go ahead and do Wander from the Wildlands times 2. That will give 150 years. With a lead time of 1. And that gives a total of 10 resources and plus 2 physical points. So he's going to be a very powerful character because of not only his age, but also all of the mental bonuses. And then a total of 12 skill points, but still only 1 trait point. Okay, so I feel like he would have Wanderer. I don't know if he would be a hunter or not. It's possible that he would. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give him the Rider life path. Because he does, thinking about the movies, he does seem to have a lot of experience with horses. So we're gonna go ahead and do just one from the Rider. And that is 20 years, 8 resources, plus 1 physical. And then 6 skill points, 1 trait point. Let's see. We might come back to Huntsman. Because like I said, these are more like general, like he probably did these things at some point over his 500 years. I think I'm going to give him 2 song singer life paths. In the books, he does a lot more singing than he does in the movies, if I remember correctly. So, song, singer, wildlands, times 2. So that's a total of 90 years, 20 resources, and 2 mental. And then 12 skill points, but again only 1 trait point because of the rule. Okay, so he's already up to 300 years, so this might be a little bit easier than I thought. I don't think he's married. Song Singer goes to both Citadel and Protector. We're probably going to go to Protector because, as we all know, he is an amazing archer, and that's where the Archer life path is. I don't know if he was ever in the Elven military, otherwise I would give him the Soldier Protector life path. I'll think about that. If I don't end up taking it, but you think that I should have, let me know in the comments. Yeah, we're gonna go to the Protector subsetting. So, I don't know if we ever gave, well, not gave, I don't know if the books ever gave information on him being a soother. I think I'm gonna give him 2 of the Ranger life paths. Yeah, because he definitely should have the stealthy skill, and that gives him the bow skill. And we meet the requirement of having Wanderer. So yeah, 2 of the Ranger. Protector. That's 90 years, 20 resources, and plus 1 lead. So the plus 1 mental / physical means you get to choose if it's a mental or a physical. Because I took it twice, I think I'm going to do 1 of each. 20 skill points. And then because there is more than 1 trait, he still gets the trait point. So 2 trait points. So yeah. He is going, yeah, 61 skill points. If you've ever played this game before, that is a lot. And he's already at like 400 years. So, yeah. So there's Bower. Okay, so Bower is their form of archer. I think I'm gonna do... I kind of want to do 5 just because that's a nice even 100 years. Yeah, I think I will do 5. Okay, so he gets the time from all 5 life paths. So that means 100 years. That brings him up to... I can't see the second number, but it's probably 502. And then, so he gets resources from the first, second, and then the third, fourth, and fifth give half resources. So that's 16 from the first 2 times. And then 12, because 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So he gets a total of 28 resources. And then he only gets the stat points from the first 2. So that's plus 2 physical. And then skill points is also half. I'm going to assume rounded down. So the first 2 times it's normal, so that's a total of 10. And then the third time gets half of the skill, so that's rounded down is 2, so that's 12. And then the fourth and fifth, no skill points. So 12 skill points, and then only 1 trait point. And that brings us up to 500. I would keep going, but he's already going to be a very powerful character. So, if we do... Let's see, we should look at the stat caps. Because there are maximum stats for... that are different for each race. Let's see if I can find it. Because he's going to end up having to gray shade at least one of his stats. For sure. Let's see. We'll come back to all of this stuff, don't worry. I'll explain it. If not today, I'll do a part 2 of this video. Let's see. It might be at the beginning of the Elven section. I know that they have different caps than humans do. And to be honest, I don't remember the human caps. But I think they're 8. Okay, so this isn't a PDF that can be searched. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 8. So I think he's gonna have 8 will, and then we're going to gray shade. I'd have gray shade for perception because he has really good eyes. Um, and I'm really glad that I'm doing this on Roll20 because it has all of the math behind different shaded skills already. Oh, 78 skill points. That is a lot. Let's see. Okay. He definitely has more agility and speed. So let's make those both 7. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take power down to 4 so that agility can be 8. Um, we're gonna see that he's going to be literally the best at the bow. Okay, so now we get to go through skills. So first we have student etharch. Oh, I'm in the section past it. Let's see. No, where was I? Yeah, okay. Okay. Born etharch, elven etiquette, elven script, etiquette, and sing. He is going to, well, elven script is required. If I could spell script, yeah, required. So etiquette. I feel like he would have that, and then sing. Obviously, he knows how to sing. Next, we have student in the etharch. So, Ages of the Etharch is a skill song, or is that a spell song? I think it's a spell song. So, Ages of the Etharch is a spell song. The Etharch is required. So that means we do this little thing, which means it costs an extra point to open. Lyric of Law. Law. We'll come back to that to decide if it's open or not. See, did he? He only took that once. Okay. Ballad of History. Also not sure if he would actually have that. Based on the books. Oratory, Calligraphy, Song of the Eldar. Calligraphy, Song of the Eldar. See, those are both. Okay. I think he would have oratory. Probably calligraphy. Song of the Eldar is basically like, oh, what is it? It's a skill song, not a spell song. I'm forgetting the words right now. Okay. And he has the learned trait is required. We will come back to common traits. And the thing about common traits is they don't cost a trait point to open. You just get them for your race. Okay, next up we have Wanderer from the Wildlands. And that's times 2. There we go. So Song of Path and Ways, which is basically navigation. That's required. Song of Path and Ways. That's required, and it's also a skill song, I think. Air of Gates is also required. And that costs extra. Foraging and then any wise. So I'm going to give him forest wise because that's an amazing skill to have. Forest wise. And both of those are going to be open. As you can see, we're still at 63 skill points, so we're doing just fine. Next is Rider from Wildlands. Oh yeah, Wanderer doesn't give any required traits. Rider gives Riding, the Gift of Speed, and Lay of Horse. Riding, which is required, the Gift of Speed, then Lay of the Horse. I think those are good songs to have. Let's go look at them. Gift of Speed lightens the tread of the rider's horse until it seems the steed is galloping on air. Yeah, I feel like he would have that. Lay of the Horse. I don't think we ever see him communicating with his horse. It's been a while since I've read the books. I'll think about that and come back. Okay, so after Rider, we have Song Singer from the Wildlands. Let's see. There we go. Song Singer. Okay, so Song of Songs, which is a really good song to have. Basically, it's the one song that lets you help other spell songs. And the special thing about it is that it can help any spell song. Typically, you can only help if you're singing the exact same song. So, Song of Songs and then Song of Soothing. And both of those are required because we took Song Singer twice. Song of Soothing. And then Lament of the Westering Sun. Laments are special because they can help mitigate grief. So you know how in Lord of the Rings elves can kind of go crazy and from grief and then they have to go to the west to like chill for the rest of their lives? Lord of the Rings elves are very similar. Okay, then we have Ranger from Protector. And that is also ×2. Okay. So, Observation and Stealthy are both required. But I feel like those would be skills he would have anyway. Observation, Stealthy, Bow, Foraging, which we already have on our list. And it's open. Yeah. Rhyme of the Pathfinder, which is kind of like navigation. I feel like he would have that. Can't have your Elven Prince getting lost. It's not required, but it is open. The Pathfinder, Song of Soothing, already has. Threen of the Chameleon, that's a song that basically makes you more stealthy. It is really good. And then Lyric of Healing. Again, I don't know if you would have a healing song. I don't think we ever see him in the capacity of a healer, you know? I just realized I haven't been doing the traits for them except for student. So we will have to come back to those. But the last one is Bower, also from Protector, which is right there. So Bowcraft, which is I think that's a skill song that's required. Mending already has bow, so bow wise. Mending, I think he would have that bow wise. So yeah, he has a lot of skills. He's going to have some gray shade skills. I'm gonna go ahead and do the traits before I finalize the skill list. So I did the student trait and the War and Ethark. So now we need the... I don't think Wanderer had a required trait. Yeah, Wanderer did not. Rider did. That's Oikyo Fugic, which I think is basically a Wanderless. And I'm sorry for butchering that pronunciation. Then Song Singer, Ranger, and Bower. Song Singer, Vocal, Ranger, and Bower. Ranger, Grey Mantle, and Sprinter. Grey Mantle. Both of them are required because we took the life path multiple times. And then Bower has Circumspect. So, let's see. We won't be able to afford a really good trait, but we do have some extra trait points. So, now let's go through and get the bases of all of these skills. I typically try and do them in alphabetical order, but there are so many that I think if I do that, I will definitely miss some. So we're going to start with the spell songs. Let's see, all spell songs. I think they're based in will. Yeah, the root is will unless otherwise specified. So, he does have Heir of Gates. So that is will. He does not have Alarm. Let's scroll to the beginning so I can actually see things. Gift of Speed and Lay of Horse are both will. I know I didn't open Lay of the Horse, but it is will. Let's see. Ballad of History? It's not a... okay. Let's see. Oh, Song of Songs and Song of Soothing are both definitely... oh yeah, and Lament. Lament of the Western Sun is will. Those are both will. I don't think I am gonna have him take Lyric of Healing, because it's kind of just bad in general. So he doesn't have Rhyme of Rules. Let's see. Threeing of the Chameleon is a spell song. Oh, I should remember that he has 5 general skill points, which could be used to get another spell song. I don't know if... oh, do you have Voice of Ages? No, he doesn't. Okay. Okay, I think that's all of these spell songs. Now we can move to skills. And will come back for grief. Don't worry about that. We'll also come back for resources. I'm probably going to go through resources, um, depending on how long this video takes. Because like I said, I might do a part 2. Okay, so let's just start kind of at the beginning. But I also see Ages of the Etharch, which is A. So that's will/perception. Okay. I don't think the order matters, but yeah. Let's see. Already did Heir of Gates. Okay. So I know I said I was going to do it in order of the list. I think I am going to try and do it alphabetically. So if I miss something, just let me know. See. Song of the Eldar is basically astrology. It's a special astrology song. That's what it is. And astrology is special because it can be used as a fork in basically anything. Okay, so we have Ballad of History, which is perception, so we can leave it. We also have bow and bowcraft. Wise is our perception, so bow wise is gonna stay. Let's see, bow is agility, bowcraft is will/agility. Will/agility. And bow is agility. So you can see because his agility is really good, his bow already starts off at 4. So we are probably going to gray shade that boy. After B, I think it's E is the next. I feel like he would have the brawling skill, so we're going to use one of the general skill points, and we're kind of running out of space. So I'm going to get rid of Lyric of Law and open up Brawling using one general skill point. So if I forget that I used, I'll just remember that he has one general skill point used. Because he would definitely have Brawling. Bowcraft. Bower. I feel like he might have that skill too. I feel like he would know. Oh, Bowcraft counts as Bower and Fletcher, so that's covered. Oh, he has calligraphy, which is perception/agility. And that's why you go slow, because sometimes you forget about a skill. And then you might have to waste time scrolling around. Let's see. I think he would also have the climbing skill. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of Ballad of History. Climbing. Open and it was speed, I believe. Yes. So that's 2 of his 5 general used. I'm just gonna put a note here that so that I know that I use a general skill point, because when you use general skill points, you can't use normal skill points to make them higher, make the skills higher. So they're probably gonna stay at their base. Although I think it would be pretty good. So that's now, yeah, we have 2 general points left. But I feel like he's pretty well covered. I don't know if he knows how to use a crossbow. Um, yeah, I think we're still headed to E, because he doesn't have any D skills. This is the part that takes the longest, so if you get bored, go ahead and skip ahead. I will not be mad. Okay, so we are looking for Elven script. Elven script is perception, so we can leave it. We are also looking for etiquette is will/perception. Do you have any other E skills? I don't think so. So next we have F for foraging. Forest wise is a wise, and all wises are perception. Foraging is perception, not surprising. Let's see, so after F, E, F, G, H. I think next is mending with M. Yeah. Let's see. I like to scroll slowly because sometimes you'll find a skill that just really fits your character when you're like looking through. So I feel like he might have the intimidation skill. If I'm being honest. Oh, I did not open the bow skill. That's interesting. You know, yeah, let's give him intimidation. So that will use 1 more of the general skill points, so that leaves 1, and intimidation is also will. Okay, so next we have mending. Trying to think if we ever see him fight with something other than a bow. And I can't remember if we do. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the knife skill anyways, and use the last general skill point. If you disagree with that decision, let me know in the comments. Let's see. Actually, you know what he would actually have? He would have martial arts. Because we see, he does a lot of weird, spicy fighting stuff. So martial arts. and that is power/agility. Power/agility. So that's all the general skill points used. Mending is perception/agility. Um, oh yeah, Rhyme of the Pathfinder. Next is observation, but observation is going to be perception. Because, obviously, um, let's see. Oh, he also has oratory, which is will. Yep, observation is perception. That's all the O. Don't think has any P skills. Yeah, he does have Rhyme of the Pathfinder and also Writing. So let's keep a lookout for that. Rhyme of the Pathfinder is perception, not surprising. Writing is will. Okay. So I think that's all the R. So I think we just have stealthy left. Yeah, I think that's the last skill. And if you're wondering why I didn't give him armor training, in the movies we'll never see him wear like leather armor, and he has enough resources to buy like reinforced leather armor. Plus, I feel like his, let's see, Song of Eldar is perception, cool. His move is basically kill them before they kill me, and it typically works out for them. Let's see, Song of Soothing is will/perception. And that's why we go slowly, because again, sometimes you miss stuff. But yeah, I don't think Legolas relies on his armor that much, and it kind of just works out for him. Stealthy is speed, not surprising. See, I think that's everything. Song of Path and Ways. Oh. Song of Paths and Ways is perception. Okay. So that's cool. I think that's everything. Yeah, so now we have 40 extra skill points to assign. We're gonna start with the easy ones. Gray Shade his bow. And that's... Is that only 4? I thought it cost 5. Maybe it only costs 4 because of how good his agility is. That's interesting. I think he would be probably pretty good at bowcraft and bow wise. I can't do martial arts. I think I'm basically going to make everything a minimum of 4 and then see what that gives me. See, that's Gray Shade. So Gray Shade 4 is already really good. I feel like he has a pretty good stealthy. Observation, Song of Soothing, forest wise. Foraging, Song of Path and Ways. Oh, I can't do Brawling because that's general. So yeah, just by making everything 4, I used up a lot. So there's now 11 skill points left. I think he would be very good at navigating. Oh. Yeah. Let's see. I think foraging is good where it is. Let's up his observation. Let's up his... let's go ahead and gray shade his stealthy. So now we have 5 left. Let's put some more into bow. And then 3 of the chameleon. He do be very stealthy. I feel like he's good at lamenting things. Also. I'm gonna leave that one general skill point there where it is. Let's see. Yeah, let's add script. That's black 4. I'm not gonna bother organizing them because that would take longer. When I do play a character, I try to organize them. Sing is 4. Ages of the Ethark is 4. I'm trying to show you like the total, like everything necessary to make a character. Brawling. Climbing. So when we're done, we can go to the skill list and see all of the skills. Oratory is 4. Calligraphy is 4. Graphy is 4. Song of the Eldar. I don't know why I didn't make that one 4. Eldar, but that's okay. You can say it 2. Song of Path and Ways is 5. Air of Gates. This is a really cool one. Basically, you sing at a door and it tells you what's behind it. Foraging is 4. If you pass the test, of course. Forest Wise. Riding is 4. When you're doing this, you also have to be careful not to add the skills that you don't open. Like I didn't open Lay of the Horse, so I'm not going to add it. Song of Songs is 4. Let's see. So the reason I did the star thing on some of them is because that basically means they're open-ended because they're spell songs. And as you can see, he has a... Let's see. So the Western Sun is 5. Okay. He has a lot of skills, which means he's going to have a lot of forks, which means he is going to be very good at basically everything he does. Let's see. Stealthy is Gray Shade 5. Bow is Gray Shade 6. Which, if you've played Burning Wheel, that means he's very powerful. But as we see in the... So let's rhyme with a Pathfinder? Yeah. As we see in the movies, he's very good at being a bow person. Threne of the Chameleon is 5. Threne of the Chameleon. Ooh, if I could spell, it's 5. Oh, I forgot to open Intimidation. Okay. I will take that point away from Threne of the Chameleon because, again, I feel like it didn't quite do the calculations for gray shading things correctly. 4. Bowcraft is 6. Bowcraft 6, because you spend 5 points to gray shade, and it only took away 4. So mending is 4. Bowwise is 4. Mending is 4. Bowwise is 4. And then martial arts is 3. Not open-ended. 3. Okay, let's go through and make sure we got all of the songs open-ended. Ages of the Etharch is open-ended. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the skills done. As you can see, very extensive list. If we go to stats and skills, as you can see, a lot of stats. 6 reflexes, which is really high. And yeah, a lot of skills. That's a lot of skills. But again, he is a protagonist. So, what else do we expect? Okay, so now traits. We're gonna do the traits from Lifepaths first because we're already here. Let's see. Circumspect. I'm pretty sure that's just a character trait. Let's see. There we are. Yeah, it's just a character trait. Circumspect. Which I don't think it actually fits him. But we are still kind of trying to follow the rules of the game. So I feel like he would have the cool-headed trait because he seems to react pretty well to things. So we're going to go ahead and give him that die trait. And that will spend the last 2. So reduce hesitation from surprise and fear by 1. Cool-headed. Reduce hesitation. Surprise and fear by 1. Okay. So next we have Etharchal, which is going to be another die trait. Etharchal. Basically gives a 1 dice affiliation with Elven Etharchs. And basically, some people can recognize that he is Elven royalty, which we can see that Aragorn realizes that. But that makes sense. Aragorn lived among the elves for a while. Next, I think, would be Grey Mantle. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a special one. That's a special elven one. So next we'll go to learned or learned. That's just a character trait. Basically saying this man is educated. I think next is sprinter. Oh, nope, here we are. Oikofugic is also a character trait. Again, sorry for mispronouncing that. Sprinter. I think that might actually be a call on. Sprinter. If he had more trait points, I would buy him a call on for bow. So sprinter is a die trait. Increases the stride by 1. Sprinter increases stride by 1. So I think there's a place for stride somewhere. So if I don't do that now, yeah, there we go. So that makes it 8. Okay, after sprinter, the last one is vocal. Vocal is just a character trait. Okay. Honestly, he doesn't need a call on for bow because he's just that good at it. So let's see. Let's go back to the Elven section and get the common traits and also Grey Mantle. So I think they are around here. Spell songs, skill songs, special elven traits. Huh. Okay, well, gets keen sight, which is a die trait. Keen sight, which is a die trait. I think an extra dice during range and cover or perception tests. Range and cover or perception tests involving long distances. And also no obstacles for dim light. And then grief is also a die trait. So that gives a special grief one there, which we will calculate soon. Firstborn, there's their stat caps. Their stat caps are 8. Oh, stride is 8. So that means because of sprinter, this guy's stride is actually 9. Interesting that it didn't calculate that immediately. Okay. Firstborn basically lets them have spell songs and also kind of be immortal. I think there's actually a different one. See, fair and statuesque, it's a character trait, definitely applies to Legolas. Statuesque. Essence of the Earth die trait. This is the one that makes them immortal. And also +1 dice against health and fort tests, specifically for fatigue and poison. So immortal and +1 dice to and fort tests against fatigue and poison. Okay then, after Essence of the Earth, Born Under Silver Stars. Just a character trait. Silver Stars. I think the Gray Mantle is just a character trait, because it's not listed under special traits. Okay, so while we're here, let's do grief and also resources, and then we'll do health and steel after. If you guys are interested in learning more about Elven spell songs, I can do another video on that. It's kind of a lot to cover here when the video has already kind of gone on long enough. Let's see. Grief. Elven grief. Basically, it's saying elves are naturally griefed. They eventually have to go to the west. Okay, so all elves start with exponent 0. Add 1 if the character has taken a protector life path. He has. Add 1 if the character... He has not been a Lancer, Lieutenant, or Captain, or Lord Protector or Soother. He was born Etharc, so that's 1. He was not a Lore Master, Adjutant, or Althing. He did not take the Elder Life Path. He does know Lamentation. I have a feeling his history includes tragedy, so I'm going to add 1. I don't think he's lived among non-elven people. Let's see, what is his steel? Oh, we haven't calculated his steel yet. We'll come back to that. His perception is gray shade, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that point. If you think I shouldn't, let me know. And then another one because he's starting over 500 years. So, right now that's 5. We will do health and steel, and then come back to it. Let's see, 1 die affiliation with Etharc's trait. Okay. See, health, those are on 91. Oh yeah, I said I was going to do resources while I'm here, and that's smart, because I don't want to waste too much time. I think he would have elven armor. Let's go ahead and do elven reinforced leather, which is 20. Elven reinforced leather, which is 20. So elven armor is superior quality, which means that the first time so when your character is hit with an attack, you can roll armor if they're wearing armor. If you roll a 1, your armor gets damaged. However, with Elven and I think also Dwarven, because they're superior quality, I think the first time you roll a 1, it doesn't damage the armor, but then it loses its superior quality. So the next time you roll a 1, it does take damage. That's kind of off the top of my head, so if you remember better or differently, let me know. Oh yeah, Burning Wheel characters start with literally nothing, so we're going to have to buy elven clothes, which is 2, elven shoes, which is 1, and I think he would also have elven finery, so that's 5, so that's a total of 8. So, elven clothes, shoes, finery. So the reason there's the 2 columns is because property, reputations, and affiliations count towards your resources dice. The other ones don't. Let's see. I think he would also have an elven bow. So that's 25. Elven bow, 25. I don't think he has an elven steed. I don't think he has an elven cloak. He would have traveling gear and probably personal effects. So that's a total of 3. Traveling gear, personal effects, total of 3. Let's see. Does he have elven rope? We never see him use it, but I feel like he would. Let's look at elven land. Oh yeah, we'll come back to the bow. He does have elven bread that he gets from the elves in, I think, Rivendell, but he doesn't start with any. I don't think. Let's see, elven land. I think he would have pastoral lands. So that's 20. Pastoral lands, 20. Do we want him? I don't know if he has any reputations. Let's go look at that section because we kind of have to for health and steel anyways. Let's see, reputations and affiliations. He has that free affiliation. I think he would have a 1-die affiliation for being specifically from Mirkwood. Affiliation with Mirkwood. That's a 10. And then he also definitely has a relationship with his father, which I think that counts as significant, but which is 10, but it's family, so -2. So that works out perfectly. Relationship with father. So that's all of his resources. Now let's do health and steel. Starting with health. Starts at 6. He does not live in squalor and filth. He's not frail and sickly. I don't think he's been severely wounded. I also don't think he's been tortured or enslaved. He is an elf, so that's add 1. He's also athletic and active, and I'll add 1. I feel like if anyone lives in a really clean, although it may not be happy. I don't think it's happy. So we're not going to do that. So he has 8 health, which I think is the cap. We're going to go ahead and do Gray Shade. Because I feel like that's the right move. Steel starts at 3. Has he taken a conscript, soldier, bandit, squire, or knight type life path? I think the ranger would count as a soldier type. The bower would definitely, so yes, so add 1. Has the character ever been severely wounded? I don't think so. Has the character ever murdered or killed with his own hand? Definitely and definitely more than once, so that's raised by 1. Has the character been tortured, enslaved, or beaten? No. Has he led a sheltered life free from violence and pain? No. Was he raised in a competitive but non-violent culture? I don't know that much about elven culture, but I'm gonna say probably. So, he has not given birth to a child that I know of. He's not gifted or faithful. Perception. It's, it does specifically say exponent, but it doesn't also account for the fact that it's gray shade. So I'm gonna go say yes. The his will exponent is 8. So that's 2. So he's already gonna have gray shade steel. His fort I don't think is 6 or higher. Yeah, his fort is 5. So we add 7, which brings it to 10. So he is gray shade 5 steel. Which means he's going to... Let's look at grief again. Where is it? I think it's after the songs. Yeah, okay. Add 1 for every point of the character's steel over 5. So that's 5. So yeah, he is also gray shade grief. Which is interesting. So he has 2 resources, half the will exponent, and 4 circles. Okay. His mortal wound is 10. The first superficial goes at 3. So, mortal wound is 10. The first superficial is 3. The rule is that you have to have at least 1 of each. So I think midi, severe, traumatic. Yeah. So the benefits of having a higher mortal wound is that it takes longer before you get to the severe and traumatic. Because if mortal was 11, you would have 2 middies. And then if mortal was 12, you'd have 2 severes. So that's the benefit. He does have reinforced leather armor. Let's start with his bow, though. He probably just has the normal hunting heads. So that's B4, B8, B11. Elven, bow, hunting heads. So that's 4, 8, 11. VA2. That's really good. Maximum range is 250 paces. Range dice 3 at optimal and extreme. I don't remember exactly what that does. I think they have the normal, like 1 to 2, 2 to 3. I mean 3 to 4, 4, 5 to 6. I would go look that up, but yeah. I think that's knock and draw of 5 actions. It's gonna do knock and draw 5 actions. Okay. He has elven reinforced leather. I think the weapons are like all and armor are like all the way in the back. Let's see, here we go. Eventually I do plan to go over like the fight rules and everything in videos. So, see, reinforced leather is 2 dice. Except for the torso, which gets an extra 1. So. Oh, he does not have a shield. And then I don't think it has any clumsy weight. Let's see. Yeah, so superior quality. Oh, okay, so here we go. Superior quality armor. Only one counts per roll, and that 1 may be rerolled. If the reroll is a 2-6, the armor remains undamaged. If the die comes up a second 1, the armor on that location is reduced by 1 die. So that's what superior quality armor is. I was thinking of elven armor. Not elven, dwarven armor. Dwarven armor is different. Clumsy weights. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have the armor training skill because it's reinforced leather. +1 ob to agility. +1 ob to health and fort. +1 ob for throwing and shooting, stealthy, and swimming. Shooting. Okay. So, pretty sure that's everything. We did life paths, stats, skills, traits, attributes, mortal wounds, resources, and circles. Okay, so if you were actually playing the character, you would go through and you would write beliefs and instincts. I'm not going to do that for Legolas because I'm never going to play him as a character. So as you can see, he has a lot of traits. He has a lot of die traits. Oh, that's what I forgot. He has a 1 dice affiliation with Elven Etharks. I think he has another one. Yeah, 1 die affiliation with Mirkwood. So, reputations and affiliations can help you when you are circling someone up, which basically means looking for someone. You never roll grief directly. You... let's go all the way back up. back to elves. Not quite far enough. Here we go. Elves. So you never roll grief directly. Instead, you compare your gameplay to this list. So if your character was lied to, you would get an obstacle 1 grief test, which routine tests don't matter. So yeah. Obstacle 10 grief is to watch the light of the world doused and to witness the cold tide of darkness come rushing forth, to give up hope. There is an edited version of this, like, kind of catching typos and stuff, and I think it changed this list a little bit, but it's still a good guide. So yeah, as you can see, he has a lot of skills, some really good stats. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job building this character. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what character you want me to do next. I am thinking Quoth from Kingkiller Chronicles. If you haven't read that book series, I highly suggest it. If you have, let me know if you would be interested in that. Let me know if you want me to continue doing this series. I am more than happy to. It's a lot of fun. It's really interesting trying to figure out the character and also mesh it with the life paths. So yeah, let me know what you thought. I'm more than happy to talk with you guys in the comments. I try to always respond. Yeah, thank you guys for listening, and have